part 2 of Vibrato guitar. This is another too easy lesson. And this is just, again, part 2 about talking about vibrato and some things I may have missed in the first lesson. I try to keep lessons 5 or 6 minutes so you don't get bored with a whole bunch of stuff. So let's hit a couple of things here with this second lesson on vibrato. One thing is vibrato just doesn't happen. It has to be practiced. You have to build up finger strength, hand strength, wrist strength to be able to get good string bends when you're playing. If you don't have the finger and wrist strength, you're not able to do it. So you have to practice. And to me, there's no real exercises to practice, but to play licks, to play pentatonic licks, play blues scale licks, play pentatonic major licks. You know, whatever licks you want to play, to work on getting those bends down and building up the strength in your fingers. So with anything, it's just like building up the calluses on your fingers to get where you can play more than a few minutes at a time. You build up strength by constantly working on vibrato and bending. Now, an analogy I use about vibrato is it's kind of like riding a bicycle. When you learn how to ride a bicycle, you don't ride the bicycle by going, push my left leg, then push my right leg, then push my left leg, push my right leg. Once you learn how to ride a bicycle, you just do it. And it's the same way with playing guitar. You don't really plan out when you're going to add vibrato to a solo or to something you're playing. So the more you practice, the more you get better at using different fingers for vibrato, like I showed you in lesson 1 with your ring finger, your index finger, even your middle finger, and you just play, practice, play, and things just happen naturally without you thinking about them. If you start thinking about it, you're not going to be very good at it. So just play, practice, and do it. Get to where you can do it without thinking about it. All right, who to listen to? I talked about tight vibrato and wide vibrato the first lesson. Guys to listen to for a nice tight vibrato are guys that are playing your basic blues stuff. Your really good blues stuff like Clapton, early Clapton back in the 60s when he was with Cream and playing on the Beano album. Those kind of things. Listen to that stuff. Plus you hear a cleaner tone in those eras where you're not hearing a real compressed, distorted tone, something processed like you might hear nowadays with modern players. Also listen to Stevie Ray Vaughan. Stevie Ray played a Strat through a tube screamer, through his amps, and that's what he played. So Clapton and Stevie Ray are two good ones to look at for tight vibrato. If you like the wild, crazy vibrato or the wide stuff, you know, listen to some hairband stuff. Listen to John Sykes, the Black Whitesnake album. And listen to Zakk Wylde in his early years with Ozzy Osbourne, and you'll hear some really crazy wide stuff. Something kind of like that. So again, you know, you don't want to stick with just one thing. Play different things. Play it wide, play it tight, but play it. Don't just play notes without adding that vibrato. That is not what to do. All right, in the first video I played a Les Paul with light strings. This is a Strat with number 10 strings. And but I've got it tuned down a half step so they're a little bit looser. But the radius on this guitar is a 7.5. On the Les Paul, it's a 9.5, I think. So a flatter radius allows for easier bends. So it's a little bit tougher to bend notes on a Strat, but you know it's just as rewarding. Sometimes you can't bend up a pad step and a half or 2 steps. There's a step, step and a half, 2 steps. So there's you know, some different things to think about when you're playing different guitars, different string gauges, different neck radiuses, and the way different pickups are going to sound. And you know, there's a lot of things variables that go into that. But going back to the beginning, practice often, but practice to where you can do it without thinking about it. Hope these lessons work for you. Thanks for watching.